There's a man with wild hair, a lost gaze in his eyes, and a mind sharper than lightning. He's scribbling equations that no one understands. His thoughts are faster than light itself. The world will one day call him a genius. But today, they call him slow, dumb, mentally ill. That man is Albert Einstein. The same man who gave us E=mc². The man who unlocked the secrets of the universe, yet struggled to unlock the doors of a job interview. This is not just the story of a scientist. It's the story of rebellion, of heartbreak, of failure, of triumph. This is the human behind the legend. This is Albert Einstein. Early life. Albert Einstein was born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany. He didn't speak until he was 4. And when he did, he repeated every word softly to himself. His parents were worried. Doctors suspected he might be mentally challenged. At school, he struggled. He hated rote learning. He refused to memorize facts that meant nothing to him. His teachers called him lazy. One even said, "Einstein will never amount to anything." But at home, Albert was different. He was curious, always lost in thought. At the age of 5, his father showed him a compass, and Albert was stunned. How is it that the needle moves without touching anything? That question never left him. He wasn't fascinated by school. He was fascinated by the invisible forces that govern nature. At 12, he found a book on geometry. He called it his sacred little geometry book. He devoured it. He wasn't stupid. He was different. And the world had no idea what was coming. Key turning points. In 1895, 16-year-old Einstein applied for admission to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic. He failed the general portion of the exam, but he scored exceptionally high in mathematics and physics. So they let him in. There, he met a fellow student, Mileva Merrick. She was brilliant, sharp, passionate, and Einstein fell in love. But love wasn't the only thing blooming. So was his mind. Einstein graduated in 1900, but he couldn't find a job. No university wanted him. His professors had dismissed him as a dreamer, a troublemaker. After months of rejection, he finally found work as a clerk at the Swiss Patent Office in Bern. It was boring, but it gave him time to think. And in that small, dusty office, the universe began to unfold. Struggles and failures. Einstein was stuck. Not just professionally, but personally. His marriage with Mileva grew cold. Money was tight. He had a child to support. And yet, every evening, he'd sit down at his desk and write equations. He had ideas that no one took seriously. Not the journals. Not the professors. Not even his friends. In 1905, something changed. He submitted 4 papers to a little-known journal. One of them contained the special theory of relativity. Another introduced the equation E=mc². No one noticed. Not at first. But slowly, the world began to listen. A few scientists started whispering, "This man might be onto something." Still, acceptance was slow. And Einstein? He kept working, quietly, restlessly. Major success. Berlin. Einstein presents his general theory of relativity. It redefines gravity. Not as a force, but as a curve in space and time. The world is skeptical. Until 1919. During a solar eclipse, British astronomer Arthur Eddington confirms Einstein's predictions. Light bends. Not just metaphorically. Literally. Einstein becomes a global superstar overnight. From a failed schoolboy to the face of genius. Newspapers across the world declare, Revolution in science. Newton overthrown. Einstein tours the world. Japan. America. Europe. He speaks not just of science, but of peace, of unity. But fame comes with a price. Untold facts. Einstein's later life was marked by heartbreak. He divorced Mileva. He lost contact with one of his sons. He fled Nazi Germany. His name appeared on Hitler's blacklist. He found refuge in America. But he watched in horror as his adopted nation built the atomic bomb, using principles he had uncovered. He never worked on the bomb, but he wrote the letter that warned Roosevelt. A letter that changed history. He later called it the greatest regret of his life. He spent his final years trying to find a unified theory. A single equation that would explain all forces of nature. He never found it. But he never stopped searching. Even on his deathbed, he asked for his notes. He died, still chasing the truth. Einstein wasn't just a physicist. He was a rebel. A poet of the cosmos. He questioned everything. He challenged authority. He taught us that imagination is more important than knowledge. That curiosity is the key to greatness. He taught us to think for ourselves, even when the world calls you crazy. He wasn't perfect. He made mistakes. He hurt people. He failed many times. But he got up, every single time. Because deep down, Einstein wasn't trying to be famous. He was just trying to understand why the compass needle moves. So the next time you feel like you don't fit in, the next time you're called different, or weird, or crazy, remember the boy who couldn't speak until he was 4. The man who bent space and time. The genius who changed the world. Not by following it, but by questioning it. This was Albert Einstein.